Hand over the baton to Dr. Prajapati to please share his thoughts as we wait for, okay, we have Dr. Bimlesh Mann is already here with us. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Richie, and thank you all the panelists here. We have heard the luminaries from the dairy sector, especially from the Director NDRI, Dr. Dheer Singh, President-IDA, and all other friends. My intention in this panel is to focus on the nutrition, and the second panel will focus more on safety and other aspects. I have a brief presentation. So before I take question, answer, and opinion from the other panels, I will make a brief presentation, especially something which is to be shown to the audience. It will have better effect when we have audio visual rather than only oral presentation. So is there any scope for the panel to see slides? या बस ऐसा है तो सोफा पर आ जाए थोड़ी देर के लिए फिर विल सी. When we are talking about the nutrition, friends, we talk about that this many grams and this many percentage and this many this thing like that. Now, nutrition is not only the content or the quantity, but more is the quality which we have. And when we talk about quality, we start with digestibility and the absorption and then utilization. तो ऐसा नहीं कि आपने 1 ग्राम न्यूट्रिएंट खा लिया तो आपको 1 ग्राम का बेनिफिट मिल गया. It depends upon what you are eating, and that happens mainly with proteins, fat, carbohydrate, as well as minerals. And that is why I wanted to emphasize, because those persons who become very aggressive on social media that we are nutritionally superior, we have these many grams of protein and these many grams of these, they should know that what does it mean and how the milk is different from those type of claims. So I start with what is milk, and everybody here knows that milk is nothing but a lactal secretion. जो अडर में से आता है उसको दूध कहते हैं, बाकी किसी भी प्रोसेस से कुछ भी बनाओ उसको दूध नहीं कहते. दैट इज नंबर 1. वर्ल्ड रिकॉग्नाइज्ड डेफिनेशन एंड ऑल्सो अप्रूव्ड लीगली बाय FSSAI. तो जो आंचल में से नहीं आता है उसको कोई दूध कहता है तो यू कैन लीगली सू देम. कोर्ट में जाके उसके सामने केस हो सकता है. जो काउंटर पार्ट है जो सोशल मीडिया में ज़्यादा एग्रेसिव होने की कोशिश कर रहे, दैट इज नथिंग बट mixture of plant material plus water plus vegetable oil and many additives including sugar, and you are not sure about the quality of those additives. Many people do not even describe it at length. दूध के अंदर 3 लोग कमियां बताते हैं, खास करके जिसको ब्लेम किया गया फैट और कोलेस्ट्रॉल करके. अभी एपोलॉजी भी आ गई और US FDA में जो किया था, जो खास करके अमेरिकन जो हार्ट एसोसिएशन वालों ने ये किया था, वो जो है अब भी तो पता लग गया कि इट वाज ए कार्टेल फॉर प्रोमोटिंग दिस हाइपरटेंशन ड्रग्स एंड सो. एनीवे, फॉरगेट अबाउट इट. बट फैट की जब बात करते हो तो इट्स नॉट बैड फॉर यू, अभी प्रूव हो गया. और फिर भी आपको लगता है कि फैट प्रॉब्लमेटिक है तो इजीली लोगों को ज़्यादा फैट की, मतलब कम फैट की प्रॉब्लम है कि बहुत पतला सा दूध आ रहा है तो हमको तो ज़्यादा फैट चाहिए, तो दैट इज़ वेरी इजी टू. सेकंड थिंग, प्रोटीन की बात करते हैं. प्रोटीन एलर्जी को मतलब डरा रहे लोगों को. जो एलर्जी वाली चीज़ बेच रहा है वो प्रोटीन एलर्जी की डर दे रहा है. दैट इज़ रियली पिटी. दैट हाउ डू वी मिसगाइड कंज्यूमर्स. सो बहुत रेयर होती है मिल्क प्रोटीन की एलर्जी, और अगर है भी है तो उसको काउंटर करने की प्रोसेस भी है. तीसरी चीज़ है लैक्टोज. लैक्टोज करके बहुत डरा दिया लोगों को, लैक्टोज इंटॉलरेंस. एक्चुअली आप 200 ml दूध पी जाओ तब तक कुछ भी नहीं होता है, और उससे ऊपर भी होता है तो हमारे पास अब लो लैक्टोज वेरिएंट है. और खास करके दही है, छाछ है, जो हम सालों से पीते आए, उसमें हमारा गट हजारों साल से हैबिचुएट हो गया है लैक्टोज डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए. तो एक्चुअली देयर इज नथिंग, इट इज़ अ हाइप क्रिएटेड बाय दिस. और लैक्टोज नहीं खाओगे तो ब्रेन डेवलप नहीं होगा भाई, इसलिए जो नहीं दूध पीते उसके अंदर थोड़ा ज़्यादा पागलपन होता है. सो मिल्क इज़ अ ट्रेजर ऑफ सो मैनी न्यूट्रिएंट्स. बहुत सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स है. इधर मैंने जैसे एक पिक्चर लिया कि क्या क्या इम्पोर्टेंट है, और ये सब चीज़ें इंटरनेट पर आसानी से अवेलेबल है. एक कंपैरिजन भी किया था, खास करके मेजर इंग्रेडिएंट्स में फैट, प्रोटीन, कार्बोहाइड्रेट, कैल्शियम, एनर्जी सबका. सबसे नीचे है काउ मिल्क वाला. आप देख लीजिए, मिल्क इज़ नो वे इन्फीरियर टू एनीथिंग, रादर इट इज़ सुपीरियर फॉर एवरीबडी. खास करके मिल्क फैट की जो हाइलाइट्स है वो मैं करना चाहता हूँ कि मिल्क फैट में हम जो कहते हैं उसका प्लस पॉइंट है कि इट इज़ रिच सोर्स ऑफ शॉर्ट चेन फैटी एसिड्स एंड मीडियम चेन फैटी एसिड्स. Along with that, we have those fatty acids which are useful for regulatory and signaling functions. और उसके अंदर जो हमारा CLA है, अभी बहुत सारी उसकी बात होती है, और ब्यूट्रेट भी है. तो ये हमारे लिए हेल्थ वाइज बहुत. द विल राइट मैनी क्लिनिकल रिपोर्ट्स ऑन दिस लिटरेचर. खास करके जो बोवाइन मिल्क खासियत थी जिसके अंदर ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स है, उसके अंदर हाई परसेंटेज ऑफ पाल्मिटिक एसिड पोजीशन एट SN2 पोजीशन, एंड दिस इज अफेक्टिंग द डाइजेशन एब्सॉर्प्शन इन इन्फेंट्स. तो बच्चों के लिए खास जरूरी है. और अभी DHA और ओमेगा-6, ओमेगा-3, ओमेगा-6 की बात चल रही है. अभी अपन ऐसा आपको डिटेल में बाद में समझाएंगे कि रेशियो का क्या बात है ओमेगा-6 और ओमेगा-3 का. तो ये सब चीज़ें दूध के फैट से आती है, बाकी कहीं से नहीं आती है. और सबसे अच्छा एंटीऑक्सीडेंट जो है फैट ग्लोब्यूल मेम्ब्रेन है, जो दूसरे किसी फैट में नहीं होता है. तो ऑल दिस थिंग्स पॉजिटिव पॉइंट्स अबाउट फैट वी शुड नो. सिमिलरली समथिंग अबाउट द प्रोटीन्स ऑल्सो वी शुड नो कि ह्यूमन बॉडी को एसेंशियल अमाइनो एसिड चाहिए, और अभी तक दुनिया का कोई भी प्लांट प्रोटीन नहीं बना जो 100% जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट के एसेंशियल हर एक अमाइनो एसिड इसके अंदर हो, एक्सेप्ट मिल्क. तो इसके लिए हमको ये ज़रूरी है. तो और ख़ास करके जो लैक्टो वेजिटेरियन है, जो एनिमल सोर्स ऑफ प्रोटीन दूसरा नहीं है, उसके लिए तो बहुत एसेंशियल है. सो मिल्क इज़ ए एसेंशियल इंग्रेडिएंट स्पेशली फॉर लैक्टो वेजिटेरियन पीपल, जिसको दूसरा एनिमल सोर्स ऑफ प्रोटीन नहीं है. उसके ब्रांच चेन अमाइनो एसिड्स जो आपके बिल्डिंग, मसल बिल्डिंग, खास करके वे प्रोटीन के, और प्रोटीन, दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रोटीन्स आर वेरी इजी टू ब्रेक डाउन एंड एब्सॉर्ब बाय द बॉडी. और इसके अंदर मेजर केसिन एंड वे प्रोटीन के अलावा बहुत सारे माइनर प्रोटीन्स है विच आर वेरी यूजफुल. और आप जानते हो कि लैक्टोफेरिन का भी एक प्लांट डिश किया था, एंड इट इज़ बीइंग सोल्ड एट वेरी वेरी हाई रेट. जब कोई भी चीज़ हम खाते हैं तो हम प्रोटीन लेते हैं, उसको प्रोटीन को डाइजेस्ट करते हैं. तो बॉडी का पहला फंक्शन होता है कि कोई भी प्रोटीन है उसको तोड़ दो, एंड द लास्ट इज इन द सीक्वेंस इज अमाइनो एसिड्स. और अमाइनो एसिड बनने के बाद वो अमाइनो एसिड आपकी बॉडी प्रोटीन के लिए यूटिलाइज होते हैं. तो किसी भी का फंक्शन है कि आप डाइजेस्टिवली देखते हैं कि मतलब डाइजेस्टिवली क्या है कि आपने जो खाया वो पचाया कि नहीं. अब पचाने के बाद जो पचा उसमें से कितना यूज हो आपकी बॉडी के लिए, दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड दैट इज द मेथड विच यू आर यूजिंग नाउ टू एस्टिमेट द क्वालिटी ऑफ द न्यूट्रिएंट्स. और खास करके प्रोटीन्स के अंदर तो इतनी सारी जो मेथड्स है उसमें अभी तक ऑफिशियली ये मेथड चल रही है कि आपका प्रोटीन डाइजेस्टिबिलिटी करेक्टेड अमाइनो एसिड स्कोर के कितना अमाइनो एसिड्स है, और उसमें से आपकी फुलनेस, कंप्लीटनेस ऑफ प्रोटीन इज बीइंग मेजर्ड विद दिस. तो उसके अंदर आप जानते हो कि भाई काउ मिल्क इज कमिंग एट द टॉप, एंड आई हैव जस्ट गिवन ए कॉमन सोया का है वेयर यू कंपेयर इट. बट इसके अंदर क्या था कि हम कितने अमाइनो एसिड तक कितना डाइजेस्ट होता है, कितना आप वो देखते हैं. अभी जो एब्सॉर्ब हुआ है इसमें से कितना रियली यूज होता है बॉडी का, यूटिलाइज्ड, उसके अंदर अगर आपके पास प्रोटीन है और उसमें कुछ अमीनो एसिड नहीं है तो काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें ऐसे कैसी पड़ी रहती है जो बॉडी उसको एब्सॉर्ब नहीं कर सकती, आपको उनके प्रोटीन में इनकॉर्पोरेट नहीं कर सकती है। तो ये जो न्यू मेथड आया है कि डाइजेस्टिबल इंडिस्पेंसेबल अमीनो एसिड स्कोर, उसके अंदर मैंने जो टर्म है उसको समझा दिया है कि कोई भी चीज़ का अगर DIAA स्कोर 1 है उसका मतलब कि जो प्रोटीन है इज कम्प्लीटली यूटिलाइज बाय द बॉडी, मतलब आपने प्रोटीन खाया, उसका ब्रेकडाउन अमीनो और हर एक अमीनो एसिड यूज हो गया बॉडी में, कहीं ना कहीं आपके बॉडी में 100% यूटिलाइज। और जिसका 1 से कम है उसका मतलब कि जो एब्सॉर्ब हो गया प्रोटीन बट इट्स नॉट फुल्ली यूटिलाइज बाय द बॉडी, क्योंकि उसके अंदर कुछ ना कुछ लिमिटिंग अमीनो एसिड है, इसलिए आपका बॉडी का प्रोटीन नहीं मिल रहा है, आपका बॉडी का मसल में नहीं जा रहा है, कहीं भी नहीं जा रहा है। और जिसका डायस 1 से ऊपर है में इसका वो तो प्रोटीन फुल यूटिलाइज हो गया और उसके अंदर कुछ सरप्लस अमीनो एसिड्स है विच कैन कॉम्प्लीमेंट द अदर प्रोटीन्स जो आपने दूसरे सोर्सेज खाया, आपने व्हीट से खा लिया, राइस से खा लिया, दूसरी से, तो उसको यूज करेगा सो दैट इट कैन बी एब्सॉर्ब बेटर। तो ये स्कोर मैंने इधर दिया है, जस्ट कंपेयर इट। पहले का पीडीएफ से भूल जाओ, अभी डाया स्कोर में देखो कि अभी दिस इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट मेथड एंड इट इज नाउ इट इज स्टार्टेड बीइंग यूज्ड। ऐसे तो 2013 से दी थी बट लीगल मेथड्स में नहीं आई थी। तो लास्ट जो अपनी वर्ल्ड डेयरी समिट थी दिल्ली में, तब ये लोगों ने किया कि दिस मेथड शुड बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड। नाउ वी कैन कंपेयर कि मिल्क प्रोटीन जो है 1.3 बता रहा है, मतलब उसके पास 30% एक्स्ट्रा एसेंशियल अमीनो एसिड्स है विच कैन बी कॉम्प्लीमेंटेड विथ अदर प्रोटीन्स। मतलब आपके मिल्क प्रोटीन खा लिया तो उसके अंदर जो अमीनो एसिड बचेंगे पूरा यूटिलाइज होने के बाद, वो आपने जो दूसरा फूड खाया है उसको एब्सॉर्ब करने के लिए भी काम में आएगा। सो दिस इज द पॉजिटिव ऑफ दैट, वी आर 130%। उसके कंपेरिजन में देख लीजिए, मैंने ओट्स का दिया है 0.54, मतलब आपने 100 ग्राम खा लिया तो 54 ग्राम ही यूज़फुल है। फिर शायद राइस का भी दिया है, लास्ट में आलमंड का भी दिया है, इट इज़ 0.4 लाख। तो आप इसी तरह से प्रोटीन का क्वालिटी का एवेल्यूएशन कीजिए एंड लेट कंज्यूमर नो दैट दिस इज द फैक्ट। डेयरी प्रोफेशनल की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ये है कि दिस गुड फैक्ट शुड गो टू द कंज्यूमर, become aggressive on social media, become aggressive in other print or soft media and educate the consumers. लैक्टोज की बात है, लैक्टोज को इतना ब्लेम किया गया, तो ये जो शुगर है उसमें ग्लूकोज गैलेक्टोज है, ग्लूकोज गैलेक्टोज इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर सिंथेसिस ऑफ गैंग्लियोसाइड्स, और गैंग्लियोसाइड क्या करते हैं, इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ ग्लाइकोलिपिड्स एंड ग्लाइकोलिपिड इज एसेंशियल फॉर बनोस ऑफ ब्रेन टिश्यूज। आपका दिमाग का डेवलपमेंट करना है तो गैलेक्टोज बहुत ज़रूरी है। और बाद में इट इज़ ए प्रीबायोटिक ऑल्सो, लैक्टोज लैक्टिलोज, जो आपके गट माइक्रोफ्लोरा को आजकल दिस एन एरा ऑफ माइक्रोबायोलॉजी और गट माइक्रोबायोम बहुत ही एग्रेसिवली डील किया जाता है। हर एक चीज़ का हाउ द गट माइक्रोबायोम इज अफेक्टेड इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बाकी सब बहुत सारे मिनरल्स वाइटामिन सब कुछ है जिसके बारे में अभी डिस्कस नहीं करेंगे। मैंने सिर्फ एक दिखा दिया, वो क्या कैल्शियम की बात करते थे कि केला खा लो। अरे भाई, केला आपको जो 200 ml दूध से कैल्शियम मिलता है, उसका कैल्शियम खाना है तो आपको 5 किलो केला खाना पड़ेगा। तो हाउ डू यू कंपेयर इट लाइक दैट? और फिर इसके अंदर कैल्शियम का भी डाइजेस्टिवली देखना है, और कैल्शियम अकेला नहीं चलता है, उसके साथ विटामिन डी भी चाहिए, तो वो भी साथ में होना चाहिए। तो जैसे मैंने विटामिन डी का भी देखा, उधर 48 है, इधर 0 है, तो मतलब वो जो आप खाते हो वो भी नहीं एब्सॉर्ब होने वाला है। दैट इज द इश्यू। आई डोंट वांट टू ब्लेम केला, बट डोंट कंपेयर विथ मिल्क, मिल्क इज मिल्क। बाकी हेल्थ एंड डिसीज में काफ़ी सारी बातें हमने की थी। बॉम्बे जब सेमिनार था, डॉक्टर वी मोहन वॉज देयर एंड ही हैज़ प्रेजेंटेड ए नाइस थिंग। और हेल्थ के बारे में क्लिनिकली प्रूवन डेटा, जिसने 4 लाख 5 लाख पेशेंट पर काम किया है और डेटा प्रेजेंट किया है। और देखो, आप BMG देखो कि लैंसेट देखो, कि इससे अच्छा मैगजीन ये दुनिया में कोई नहीं है, साइंटिफिक जर्नल, तो मोस्ट ऑथेंटिकेट डेटा है। और ये डेटा सब कहते हैं, उनका सिर्फ कंक्लूजन में इसमें दे देता हूँ। एक उसमें मैंने लिखा था कि मिल्क एंड डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स, इवन हाई फैट मिल्क, इज प्रिवेंटिव फॉर लाइफस्टाइल डिसीजेस दैट इंक्लूड्स ओबेसिटी, हाइपरटेंशन एंड टाइप 2 डायबिटीज़, ये तीनों को कंट्रोल करने में मिल्क एंड मिल्क प्रोडक्ट्स बहुत ही ज़रूरी है और उससे फ़ायदा ही होता है। एक भी रिपोर्ट, शायद 6 या 7 हज़ार रिसर्च पेपर रिव्यू किए गए, एक भी रिपोर्ट ऐसा नहीं कि जो कहता है कि एक खाने से डायबिटीज़ होता है कि एक खाने से हाइपरटेंशन होता है। न्यूट्रल है या तो नेगेटिव है। सो दिस शुड बी प्रोपगेटेड इनटू द सोसाइटी, दैट इज द ओनली इंटेंशन। ये पैनल का भी इंटेंशन यही है। सो नाउ आई इनवाइट पैनल टू कम ऑन द स्टेज प्लीज। We have very eminent panelists और इंट्रोडक्शन में तो मैं लेट मी डू इट चलेगा क्योंकि टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट हमारे पास। राजौरिया साहब तो इंडिया में कोई ऐसा शायद नहीं होगा जो नहीं जानते होगा राजौरिया साहब को। सबसे सीनियर मोस्ट है और काफ़ी सारा काम किया है। और तो हम जब पीएचडी करते थे तब तो राजौरिया साहब तो इंडिजिनस प्रोडक्ट्स के गुरु थे। तो सर, आई नो दैट यू आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग इन दिस फील्ड। मैं तो आपके सामने बहुत छोटा बच्चा हूँ, तो अभी टाइम को देखते हुए आई विल रिक्वेस्ट पैनल मेंबर्स हर एक को 5-7 मिनट कुछ बताए। सर प्लीज़ टेल समथिंग ऑन दी प्रेजेंटेशन है आपके? राजौरिया साहब का प्रेजेंटेशन लोड कर दो प्लीज। यस यस प्लीज कम। हाँ वो ना प्लीज प्लीज मोस्ट वेलकम सर।
Thank you, Dr. Prajapati. It's nice to talk with friends sitting here in this hall. Many of you have been my colleagues in one way or the other. A large number of you have been the students of NDRI, where I had the pleasure of teaching you some courses in milk processing, milk product manufacturing. In fact, this kind of panel discussion raises some questions, and then the panelists are required to give some answers. But then I thought that it is good to remind you of what you have studied in past as students and what you have practiced as a practitioner in dairy industry. The importance of minor milk components has not received as much attention as that for the major milk constituents. Anyway, because of the paucity of time, I will cut short my presentation by making some recommendations and then go through the slides which you may glance at. Some of the nutritional facts which Prajapati has just mentioned. Now the cholesterol is no longer the issue. For many, many years, the world was, I would say, use the term misguided by the medical practitioners, more so by the United States Food and Drug Administration, that don't consume fats which are rich in cholesterol. After 57 years of that misguidance given to the world, because they had already had enough by selling statins. You know, statins are prescribed for reducing the cholesterol level in blood. So now only 2 years ago, they have come out with this prescription that cholesterol is no longer the issue. It was a very, unfortunate scientific fact that was thrown upon all the countries of the world. Now, researchers have found that there is a positive association between the consumption of dairy products and lifestyle diseases. If you eat and drink more milk products and milk, then all the lifestyle diseases, cancer, hypertension, diabetes, all these, will get controlled. If not, you may not use them as medicines, but you can certainly prevent the occurrence of those lifetime diseases. The third one is that those who consume higher levels of saturated fats from dairy products neither develop heart diseases or nor they have died prematurely. The issue was that don't eat butter, was the notion in foreign countries. So that notion just crept into India, don't eat ghee. But now we know that ghee is not a very big source of saturated fats. Vegetable oils which were hydrogenated were big source of these saturated fatty acids. So now the realization is that ghee as well as butter or any fat-rich products are as good for health as any other oil could be. 29% people having higher levels of dairy fats in their blood did not develop any type 2 diabetes. This is another finding that has come out. Full-fat dairy products are higher in calories, and that is what we want in India. We are short of calories, and if you don't eat full-fat products, that where from you will get the calories? You have to go for proteins or go for carbohydrates, eat gold or eat sugar. So this is one of the best way of meeting your calorie requirements. Milk fat globule membrane, which Dr. Prajapati has just said, has many important components. I will later in a slide mention to you what fat globule membrane carries with it. So this is very good for digestive functions. And at the same time, the cholesterol level in the alimentary tract or digestive tract is digested in the presence of this cholesterol. Yogurt and cheese are most associated with health benefits. And those who have been manufacturing dahi, yogurt or cheeses, mishti dahi, they are doing a good service because consumption of these fermented products improves the gut bacteria and improve the health. And removal of milk fat products from the diet will mean that we are removing vitamin A, D, E, and K because they are all fat-rich, they are fat-soluble vitamins. So you are taking away all the fat-rich vitamins from low-fat or no-fat products, and at the same time, the pleasure that you derive by consuming high-fat-rich products, you will not be able to provide that. Okay, now I will just run through the slides that what are the minor milk components which have to receive higher attention. Why I am mentioning this? Because those of you who may be eating paneer or cheese will not get access to these minor milk ingredients. So those who consume full milk, whether it in the form of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk, or milk as such, will have the access to all these minor components. But if you are eating paneer or cheese, you will not get these minor milk components. Major milk components, I think everybody knows there are, proteins, vitamins, the carbohydrates. I was telling you about the fat globule membrane. It is a very complicated structure, carries a lot of good things. Vitamins is a rich source. Vitamins are very important as minor ingredients. What is this coming? Minerals. It's a long list of bioactive peptides that are available from milk. There are many components in milk which are anti-inflammatory. Inflammation within or outside the body will cause a lot of diseases. And you will see that whey proteins, they reduce the, including Richie Agrawal also, because she eats a lot of cheese, isn't it? Yes. So she is more intelligent than others. So it's good to, if you want to have a good cognitive effect, then you must consume milk and milk products. Aparnathi is right or no? Okay. And then people are concerned by दूध अगर पियोगे तो मोटे हो जाओगे, घी खाओगे तो मोटे हो जाओगे, लेकिन ये गलत है. जब आपकी डाइट में घी होगा उसमें सेटाइटी वैल्यू मिलती है. अच्छा, वे प्रोटीन्स भी जो है आपको सेटाइटी वैल्यू देती हैं. तो जब आप इसको कंज्यूम करेंगे तो आपकी जो खाने की जो इच्छा है ना वो पहले जल्दी भर जाएगी. उसका असर ये होगा कि आप को वेट मैनेजमेंट, मतलब आपको अपना वेट आराम से जो है ना मैनेज कर सकते हैं. तो दूध और दूध के बने प्रोडक्ट्स को आप खाइएगा और अपना मतलब परेशान मत होइए कि ये प्रोडक्ट्स खाने से हम मोटे हो जाएंगे. Conclusion. So now I have taken first trial and now take the last slide to save the time because the panel discussion will also take place. Now we conclude that minor milk components will contribute to overall health. Nutrient density of milk provide a wide range of active compounds essential for human health. Minor milk components are often overshadowed by the major constituents while we discuss in any deliberations like this, from essential vitamins, minerals, enzymes, bioactive compounds. All these compounds offer a plethora of health benefits. They support everything from strong bones and digestive health to immune function and cognitive development. They empower us to make informed dietary choices, whether we are looking to boost our immune system, enhance bone health, or simply enjoy a well-balanced source of nutrition. So you have a great choice to decide what we should do. From any deliberations, you have to carry some message home to tell your family that I have spent, one full day in Delhi. What are the lessons that I have learned? The exploration of the nutritive value of minor milk components proves that milk is just not a beverage. It is a very rich source of nutrients that contribute to our overall well-being. So next time when you pour a glass of milk or enjoy a dairy product, appreciate not only its creamy taste, but also the nutritional treasure it brings to your health. My recommendation will be that we should, Dr. Sodhi, invite perhaps all the 4 panelists, including the chairman, to write a monograph. And IDA should publish this monograph on the nutritional value of milk and milk products for wider circulation, so that public at large will come, and then this should not be very high priced. It should be, we should make no loss, no profit monograph on this. Let us start this lesson of introducing milk and milk products right during the childhood. We have, I am sure, Madam Khosla will speak about the infant nutrition and also subsequently what should be, give to the children, growing children. But let us catch the school-going children to inculcate the habit of, introducing milk in their diet. And Haryana State Chapter last month, and Dr. Kanodia, who is the chairman of Haryana State Chapter, he invited me to a school, senior secondary school, where we taught the students the virtues of milk and milk products. And they were so amazed, they did not know as to why should they consume milk and milk products. So let us all start at an early age, so that, not only that it is going to serve our business functions, but also will serve this nation directly and indirectly in building good health. Mention was made by Sodhi Saab, Dr. Dheer Singh, and also by my friend Khosla ji, that the problem of adulteration is there. All of you are aware about the problem of adulteration and contaminants. This issue I have, as a chairman of the scientific panel with the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, we have had a lot of discussions on this subject. This adulteration will continue, but in a very limited scale. We make, कहते हैं ना कि एक छोटे से आप पहाड़ बना देते हैं उस प्रॉब्लम को. प्रॉब्लम इज मोस्टली कंटेन नाउ. अडल्ट्रेशन की जो प्रॉब्लम थी ना, वो सिंथेटिक मिल्क कहाँ पता नहीं गायब हो गया. अभी सोडी साहब ने आपको बताया ना कि भाई एक लॉबी भी हमारे अगेंस्ट में कर रही है. संडे हो या मंडे, रोज खाओ अंडे. वो ऐसी जो है ना स्लोगन जो है बनाई, तो हम भी ऐसी कुछ स्लोगन बनाएं जिससे कि जो है ना दूध और दूध के बने उत्पाद जो है बने. तो ये सही है कि adulterated and contaminated milk products are not very nutritious, but let us work towards this goal कि भाई हमारे यहाँ जीरो लेवल क्वालिटी इशू आए, जिससे कि हमारा जो फ्यूचर है, हमने जो 100 मिलियन टन दूध को विदेश भेजना है, क्वालिटी हमारी टॉप पर रहे. धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच. बहुत अच्छा आइडिया दिया राजौरे साहब ने, इस एक्सपीरियंस, एंड आइडिया विल ट्राई टू डू इट. खास करके स्कूल में, वो तो हम एक्चुअली 3 साल से सर हम कर रहे हैं. वर्गीज स्कूल सेंटर इरमा से स्कूल अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स कॉम्पिटिशन्स करके करते थे. अब इस that is the focus. Anyway, because time is very short, it's my pleasure to introduce our next panelist, Dr. Bimlesh Mann. She is ADG at ICR in New Delhi with more than 33 years experience in teaching, research, and so. She is an expert scientist in proteins and peptides, and that is why I request her to talk on proteins or peptides, maybe 5 minutes or so.
Thank you, Dr. Prajapati, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. So everything has been talked about, the each and every component of the how they are should be the part of our diet. Particularly for the protein, as Dr. Prajapati already pointed out various benefit of the milk protein, which includes the whey protein, which are having the branched chain amino acids, lactoferrin, immunoglobulins. But apart from this intact protein, the peptide which are derived from this milk protein also has the beneficial health benefits. And these peptides are of various type, like they may act as antihypertensive, antioxidative, anti-carcinogenic, anti-diabetics, and mineral binding peptide and so on, immunomodulatory, and number of peptides are there, and they directly affect the cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, colorectal cancers, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's disease, and etc. Number of disease, because already this has been reported in the literature, and with very good, the clinical trial, and a lot of data is available in the literature. That's how these peptides act in our system and protect us from these diseases. So particularly these peptides are formed when we consume the milk, due to that in our digestive system we are having the digestive enzyme, like we are having the pancreatin, which contain the trypsin, we are having the pepsin in our stomach. So the protein get degraded and it convert into the peptides. But the proportion of the peptide, these beneficial peptides, which we are getting out of the milk is less. And there are a number of strategies by which we can enrich these peptides in our diet. Particularly first, most important is the fermentation. So when we prepare the fermented milk product, so like yogurt, dahi, and cheese, so these proteins are degraded by the our culture, we call starter culture, which we use for the manufacture of this product, into the precursor of the peptides are the peptides. Particularly in which the fermentation in the product where we require the less fermentation, like yogurt and the dahi-like product. So in these products, the concentration of the peptide is less, more precursor of these peptides are there. And when we consume it, these are further degraded into the bioactive peptides, which I have mentioned, number of peptides are there by our digestive enzyme. But here I am giving you, because lot of literature is also available regarding this, but I am giving you the example of the cheese, ripened cheese here. So number of clinical trial has been done in the Western countries. It is related to the cow milk cheese. And they have found that, they have confirmed with the evidence that the cheese which contain the fat content as that of the butter have the significance, decrease the LDL cholesterol. So although it has the fat percentage as that of the butter, but it has the effect on our this blood profile related to the lipid profile. And the adverse effect of the saturated fatty acids which are there in the milk or the milk product is mitigated by the matrix of the cheese. And matrix of the cheese, it contains majorly the bioactive peptides. Because during ripening, the milk protein, intact milk protein, it converted into the smaller peptides, and that's why it become more digestible and having all this. So number of study has been conducted and number of paper has been published. Even the clinical trial, more than, I think it is tested on lakhs of the people in the clinical trial, that cheese has the beneficial effect and it control the CVDs. And further we can increase it. There should be the industry people, they should use the strategy that we should use the proteolytic strain in our culture. So in this case also, We have in NDRI, Dr. Kanodia is here. He has tried number of proteolytic culture to increase the content of these bioactive peptides, and that technologies are available with the NDRI. And further, we can, one more strategy is how we can enrich these peptides is by enzymatic hydrolysis of the milk protein. So that is the method where we can produce industrially by using the membrane processing, we can separate the peptides, and there are number of ingredients which are enriched in this type of the bioactive peptide are already available in the international market. Arla Foods and DNV International, they are selling this peptide enriched ingredient, and the people are using it into different food products to get the health benefit. So, so time is very less, otherwise I have explained, because this is the area which is close to my heart. I have explained each and everything related to the peptides. And during my research at NDRI, I have published number of papers related to the how we can produce in situ as well as by enzymatic hydrolysis of this peptide, and we are having the patents also in this area. And further, my suggestion is here to the institutes, those who are working in the dairy food production, that we should collaborate with the health science institutes, because we are having the data related to the cow milk only. The Western country, they are working on the cow milk, but in India, we are having the milk from the buffalo and from other minor species, but we don't have the such type of the data in our, which is pertaining to our country. So in this, we have to do the clinical trial with the help of the health institute related to the various products which are having the more number of the bioactive peptides and other bioactive ingredients of the milk. And second is, we have to go for diversification of the milk product. So from traditional to, we have to go for the newer product, like nowadays the high protein products are available in the market, and people are using this high product like yogurts. High epigamia yogurt is there, which is having high milk proteins. And probiotic products are also coming up. So we should popularize this type of the product which out of the milk, so that we can further popularize the milk that it's having the beneficial effect. And I have come across the current dietary advice from different medical associations all over the world, which is related to the CVD, type 2 diabetes, and colorectal cancer. So how this is milk and milk products are now the different associations are introducing in their recommendation. So when we see that European Association of the Study of Diabetics, in 2004, they have recommended that no dairy product should be recommended for the diabetic people. And American Heart Association in 2013, they have recommended low-fat dairy products. Further, European Society of Cardiologists in 2016, they have also recommended low-fat dairy products. And American Heart Association and American College of Cardiologists guideline in 2016, they have recommended that we should take 3 servings of the dairy a day. And further, in 2019, American Diabetic Association and European Association of Study of the Diabetics, in 2019, they have recommended dairy milk and yogurts should be there in the diets. And further, in 2018 also, World Cancer Research Fund International, they have recommended milk consumed probably protect against the colorectal cancer. So these type of the guidelines are coming nowadays, and we should also from this platform from the IDA, that we should also recommend to the government that we should also include such type of the product which are having the beneficial over these lifestyle diseases. And recently, in 2010, our ICMR Institute, National Institute of Nutrition, Hyderabad, they have recommended that for the vegetarian, in the vegetarian diet, the protein should be from cereal, legumes, and milk. And proportion which they have given that 73% from the cereals, 6% from legume, and 20% from the milk. This is the guideline which they have given in 2010. But recently in 2020, further they have modified the guideline and decreased the cereal by 46%, increased the legume 15%, and milk just double, 38%. So it means we are also, our government, our institutions are also working in this area, and we should also from this platform recommend such type of that milk and milk product should be should have an important place in our diet. Thank you, IDA, from this. So this is from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. Very good insights and the recommendations. Recommendations are very dynamic and go on changing. But nowhere the blame on milk is coming. The shift is towards more propagation of milk and milk products. Now we have with us the another panelist, Mr. Bishwit Dattaji. Is working in Mother Dairy as quality control in charge. And actually I would like to know from him, because in the last 2 or 2.5 years of COVID, we have learned one word society में. Even गांव के लोग बोलते हैं कि immunity बढ़ाओ. और 2 साल में शायद न्यूट्रास्यूटिकल एंड फार्मा कंपनियों ने हजारों न्यूट्रास्यूटिकल प्रोडक्ट्स इम्यूनिटी बिल्डर्स लॉन्च कर दिए. तो मदर डेयरी ने भी कुछ किया था, मेरे को पता है, कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स विथ नॉट ओनली इम्यूनिटी बट मैनी अदर बेनिफिट्स. तो आप सर 5 मिनट थोड़ा वो हाईलाइट कर सकते हैं तो इट विल बी बेनिफिशियल टू द ऑडियंस.
Hello, good afternoon. I am feeling privileged here. I am sitting with my gurus and in front of my professional gurus. Thank you, IDA, for inviting me. Mother Dairy, we are working on immunity or health benefited products in 2 ways. One is the probiotic addition in the curd and yogurt. Another is addition of fortification of vitamins A and D. And what we felt during COVID, we came up with healthy milk and we thought of many. But once COVID went, so people's craze to those products has been, we don't see any craze on that. See, also spontaneous to the, response is spontaneous to the problem. But the perpetual response is with the yogurt and probiotic curd. We have under the NutriFit brand, we have yogurt and curd also, even drink also. So probiotic drink, probiotic curd, as you all know, their benefits, their improves our gut health, that improves or pacifies the bowel irritation and improves our total health balance. Even lifestyle stress can be also addressed. These are the benefits. Regarding another thing we came up with, that is addressing the upper respiratory health with the probiotic strain that is in the yogurt. But we didn't get much of the response. So as an industry, if you don't get much response, we may not work on that. Another thing, vitamins A and D, we are fortifying our milk, almost 1.5 to 1.8 million liters every day going to market. And also fortifying our edible oil, though it is not milk product, but I am just mentioning the work we are rendering for the customer or for our benefit also. Another thing, we are also donor under the scheme of gift milk run by NDRI. So we donate milk to the school children. So because the school children scheme, midday meal scheme or whatever, when it started, I don't think it is getting much popularity, but that is one way to dispose our milk as a reasonable price or even service to the nation, because National Health Survey, National Family Health Survey 2021, it came up with the data, the 0 to 5 years of children having 35% of stunting, means stunting, then wasting 9%, and underweight 31%. So that is not for vitamin, that is for protein deficiency, but vitamins 0 to 19 years of age, another survey, comprehensive national nutrition survey, there that also came up with 14 to 16 vitamin A, 14 to 22 vitamin A deficiency among those people, 16 to 24 vitamin B, and 18 to 20 vitamin D deficiency. Those are the challenges we have to, my suggestion, we may take it up, because those age group is the future of our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Datta. This is the need, and especially Asia, Latin America, Africa, these are very serious issues. कल ही मैं पढ़ रहा था वो रिपोर्ट FAO का, and it is a duty, moral duty of all dairy men to tackle these problems. Now with us, very distinguished panelists. Actually आप सब दूध वाले डेयरी वाले हैं, मगर थोड़ा हट के हमारे साथ मैडम ईशी खोसला जी है. She is very experienced and very, I think, one more gem from Lady Erwin College. क्योंकि मैं 2-4 लोगों से मिला है और उसमें से आज मैडम भी है. लास्ट टाइम भी हमने जो बॉम्बे में प्रोग्राम किया था, डॉक्टर मोहन थे, सिरिल सालिस थी और दूसरे न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट थे. So she is one of the very renowned clinical nutritionists, and rather than asking her a problem, we would like to know her feedback from her patients, that what is the opinion of milk and milk products, and how do you relate the consumption of milk and milk products in clinical nutrition, and so madam, it's your choice.
So first of all, thank you for the kind words, Dr. Prajapati. Thank you, IDA, for inviting me here to talk on a very contentious subject as far as nutrition is concerned with respect to dairy. And this is not the first time I have spoken in this association. I have been here twice or thrice, I think.
We need such, because she is a columnist also, press में भी लिखती है, तो हमारे तो बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप लिखो, क्योंकि हम बोलते हैं तो कुछ लोग मानते नहीं हैं, but आप बोलोगे तो मानेंगे.
जी. तो सबसे पहले तो if I have to start, I would say that it is undisputable to almost sum up that milk is a powerhouse of nutrients. There is no two ways about it, and it has stood the test of time, particularly in traditional societies. However, I will also, in fact, I would add to that milk, even though it has been so integral and so valued in our societies, is undergoing a shift in its image. And one of the reasons, I think, why we are here is to address that. Like Dr. Mann said, how do I get my grandson to have milk? How do I have my son have a glass of milk? While we used to have gallons of milk every day. What's going on? Why is the need or the emergence of the non-dairy milk market, why has it become so big? Why is veganism growing so much, so rapidly? So there are obvious problems that we cannot be dismissive of. and we cannot wear blinkers and say that it's okay. So I think I'm not making a presentation as such, I'm just going to speak as my thoughts come to me and address the critical areas with respect to science research and my clinical practice. First of all, let's address the fact that all dairy and all milk are not equal. We have different kinds of milk which could have different properties. That's number one, intrinsically difference in milk. And also the issue of adulteration, that milk is not milk that used to be, and that has already been addressed. So one of the negative images of milk also came with the adulterated milk. Secondly, all bodies are not the same. That's a problem, I think, which is emerging out of my own professional expertise of nutrition. As a science background and the way we have been taught that everybody is meant to have the same formula. Calories, proteins, fats should behave equally with everybody. They don't. Our bodies are different. And this difference in our bodies has magnified tremendously since the last, I would say, 2 decades, since the 1960s. Huge changes in our bodies have happened thanks to a shift in the ecosystem, in the food and the industrialization of food, and we have to take cognizance of that. And one of the fallouts of that is the emerging increase in food allergies and intolerances. So while milk may be great, milk is good, but are we all handling it the same way? As Dr. Prajapati in his slide said, I would sum it up and say it's important to address what we eat, how much we eat, how we eat it, and not only that, how we digest it and how we assimilate it. So today it's also about digestion. And this takes me to a whole concept of gut health, which has emerged over the last 2 decades, even in modern science. So we all know that milk works for us, but for certain people we all know it doesn't work for us. Why? What happens to those people? Why it doesn't work? An elimination of milk may help resolve many problems. So it is not the milk, it is our gut. And I'll give you the most easy to understand example, which I just was thinking while I was sitting here. That when anyone has diarrhea, loose motions, the first thing to be stopped is milk. Why? Because the gut is injured. The gut has become leaky. The barrier function of the gut has got compromised. The gut is like the outward skin, an immune organ for us. We spoke about immunity. 2/3 of the immune system lies in the gut. And this barrier function is one of the ways it protects us. So when this gut is leaky, very crudely we can say it has holes, it is bruised, it is injured, our bodies start responding differently. Undigested food particles, including milk protein, we have all spoken about the value of milk proteins, different kinds from whey to casein. They don't get broken before they reach the digestive enzymes, they have been sucked into the bloodstream, unbroken or partially broken, causing an immune reaction and a cascade of reactions which are inflammatory. So I think our ancestors realized it. The other is lactose itself. We lose tolerance towards the milk sugar in that condition, and that can also trigger or aggravate the diarrhea. Now, what has really changed in the last 2-3 decades is this gut. The leaky gut has become a huge concern for people who are, I think, exposed unwittingly, unknowingly to toxins around us, be it pesticides, be it the pollutants, be it the preservatives and additives in packed foods, be it the antibiotics, be it the vaccines, be it infections, be it stress, many, many factors. In fact, these are all a part of my latest book called The 4G Code to Good Health. It's by Penguin: Gut, Girth, Gluten, and Glucose. So too much of sugar itself can also affect the gut lining, the leaky gut. So it's not milk. Milk is good for all of us, for most of us who are not allergic to it. But perhaps the issue to be addressed is who is able to tolerate it and who's not. And that is why, even in my practice today, if I have to treat certain kinds of conditions where I know the gut is leaky, I have to deal with this issue. It is on the fence. There is no blanket, good or bad. It is individual. My staff has been asked to write, this will be case to case. We want to give it to you. We will see how you do with it. And the target is, we know scientifically and otherwise that dairy provides a huge source of lactobacillus, which is so important for our gut. To improve the diversity of the gut flora, which is directly linked to our immunity and overall health, we need this lactobacillus. And fermented milk products have been not only a part of the current ecosystem, they are there in the form of drinks, etc., but they were a part of the blue zones diet. I was going through the key aspects, nutritional aspects of the blue zone diets and how there is a common thread. And one of the strong points is consumption of fermented milk products. So it has stood the test of time. We have in the blue zones, I guess all of us know that they are the ones who have lived, the centenarian population. They have the highest number of centenarians in these areas. And then, closer to home, we have the Mediterranean diet. Mediterranean diet also emphasizes the importance of dairy, and not low-fat dairy. Good fat dairy, high-fat dairy, cheese, butter, cream, and that has been inversely related to cardiovascular disease, metabolic problems, obesity, and neurological problems and dementia, etc., etc. So chronic degenerative diseases are inversely related to the consumption of dairy, which is a part of the Mediterranean diet. So no two ways about it. But I think we have to take cognizance of the fact that we are all now in our bodies unknowingly, particularly much more after the pandemic, prone to gut issues. Having said that, I'm going to make two more important points about milk fat. Now, we talked about gut function, but you know, the fuel for the gut lining, for the gut cells, is butyric acid. And I think this audience would understand where butyric acid comes from. Two sources, the diet, butter and ghee, and the fermentation of short-chain fatty acids. So this is an important point, particularly for those who want to build up a healthy gut and restore the gut function and be able to tolerate dairy. And secondly, there has been an obsession, I think, in the last few years, as I observe as a clinician, on protein mathematics. Am I making the maths, 1 kg per body weight or 1.5 kgs per body weight is my requirement for protein? Am I making it? And most of us do the maths wrong and end up taking protein powders. So while whey per se is excellent and has some excellent repair and the growth properties for bodybuilding, but whey protein may be a different story. So please, we need to make the right communications with people. We need to make accurate statements with people, and whey protein, in my clinical experience, has been one of the worst additions to an individual's diet, leading to not only liver disease, but kidney disease, and so on and so forth. So, oversimplification of facts through nutrition science should be avoided. We should avoid the reductionist approach that we have. We have to take food as a whole. Milk and dairy products as a part of a healthy diet certainly have a major role to play in our lives, but everything needs to be taken in the right spirit, and particularly with food, one size does not fit all. So I think I'm going to leave it at that and be happy to answer questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. One size doesn't fit all. That is very important, and that is how the gut microbiota regulates everybody. I think, Richie, we are running short of time, so I think we'll have to close this. And एक या दो कोई question है तो quickly बता सके. Yes, please. Sharma ji.
Hi, Karnal. I have 4 questions to ask the panelists. What is the status of bioactive peptides as marketable pharmaceutical product? How we can make this bioactive peptides on industrial scale? What is the process, and how the membrane technology is important in this? What is the status in the international market?
Market में मिलता है सब.
No, that's fine, but the process.
प्रोसेस के लिए तो आपको कंसल्ट करना पड़ेगा कोई अच्छे माइक्रोबायोलॉजिस्ट को.
मैडम,
who will ferment it and make it for you.
But you have to separate it from the ferment.
It can be separated with the by using various membrane filtration as well as membrane filtration technology. We can use the ion exchange membranes, and that are available in the market. Already plants are there in the Western country, and I think more than 10 products related to the bioactive peptide is there in the international market.
But I'm just asking the status in India. Are we making this bioactive peptides with the membrane technology or something?
As per my knowledge, I think no industries is making.
Okay.
But we are going for the probiotic dairy products like yogurts. In this, the increase there is an increase in the bioactive peptide in the probiotic yogurt. So see, there are evidences. This
is a related question. The probiotics, when you are talking about, then what should be the quality control for this particular this thing? Whether it is
Sir, I think we'll take this one offline. This is becoming too technical for me. I don't know about others.
What thing?
I think we should just आप मैडम से लंच में बात कर लीजिएगा थोड़ा.
Asking now question on probiotic probiotic, what should be the quality control for this? Of any product, whether it is
Can we
सर जो भी हम कोई भी फूड प्रोडक्ट के लिए क्वालिटी कंट्रोल करते हैं वो उसके लिए भी चाहिए. ओनली थिंग प्रोबायोटिक में अभी एक ही लीगल रिक्वायरमेंट है कि इट शुड हैव 10 to 7 वायबल सेल्स पर सर्विंग साइज. वो आपको लीगली मीट करना है. बाकी सब गाइडलाइंस मतलब वॉलेंट्री है. ICMR गाइडलाइंस.
Do you want to say?
any other question? Sir, can we please give another person a chance?
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
We are basically into packaging. We are into packaging of aseptic beverages and all. So I'm here listening to all this. It was a very fantastic session. A new learning for a layman, I would say, who was not aware about the dairy. So I could hear much of the thing that the fat is very important. So at the end of the day, what should I understand? Because now there are different varieties of milk which are available. Fat, toned, double toned, and some people call it as skimmed milk also. So the full fat milk is more healthy than a skimmed milk for a normal person, like I'm just talking as a layman.
देखो साहब
Yes.
दोनों साइड अच्छा नहीं है. सबसे अच्छा जो मोस्ट रनिंग वेराइटी स्टैंडर्डाइज पेस्चराइज मिल्क 4.5% फैट वाला चलता है. दैट इज व्हाट आई रिकमेंडेड इफ यू आर, बिकॉज आपको देखते हैं तो लगता है कि यू आर परफेक्टली फिट एंड दैट.
Gee, I just would like to say that it's case to case, but in fat, I think fat is definitely a good addition to milk. And if you can tolerate it and you don't have any digestive issues as such, go for the higher fat milk.
Yeah. Thank you. And one more thing in the last. So if I have a bad stomach, milk is good, right? So the whole mentality which is coming up, as
Then
you
yogurt
said,
is good, buttermilk is good.
Okay.
If you have a bad stomach.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was a very
Rates and the questions goes to clinical things, and you have told that whey protein is more injurious. How it is comparatively with milk protein concentrates, if you feel on your clinical trials or clinical experience, please.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So I, to be honest, would not be able to give you the science around.
You know, during these two deliberations, Dr. Prajapati and mine, we have come out, with a new term that how much of these amino acids are assimilable. Amino acids that come from casein and amino acids that come from whey proteins. But it is realized that both these are complementing with each other. If you have milk protein concentrate versus whey protein concentrate, it is good to go, with the whey protein, milk protein concentrates. And if you do not have that access, then go whey protein concentrates are very good for muscle, strength. And these days, sports nutrition people are working on use of whey protein concentrates on, muscle building, stress management, water requirement. So it's not a very simple, answer for the query that you are raising, but it's good. Whatever is available and whatever you like will be the best way. But whey proteins are more richer than the casein.
No, sir, on last question, because the...
Sorry, I'll just add to this before we move on, that most of, if you do the mathematics right, mostly if you look at diet as a whole, dietary, diet itself can meet the protein requirements. And protein supplements really need not be, they could be only when dietary requirements are not met. So that is the first line or the first message I'd like to give, that mostly people, if they eat, their diets are well planned, we don't require protein supplements. And yes, of course, the rest of it has been answered.
Okay, thank you.
Why the industry is not exploring to develop a product from the colostrum itself, because it contains high protein, immunoglobulin, etc., etc.
Yes, that's an excellent question. And in fact, since we spoke about gut health, one of the best ways to repair a leaky gut is through colostrum. So yes, I think its time has come. It is being recognized and products are emerging in the market. But specifically, if you like to add.
सर इट इज़ वेरी लिमिटेड अवेलेबिलिटी और अभी कुछ कंपनीज कोलेस्ट्रॉम पाउडर बना करके बेच रहे हैं.
Dr. Prajapati, actually, the colostrum powder, research work, PhD level has been conducted at NDRI. Bimlesh, you will be knowing, I think SET's student worked on that. Now, please don't carry a message. Colostrum powder is very good so far as the immunity, components are concerned. But when you manufacture colostrum powder, you have to first remove the casein before you go for colostrum powder. So, otherwise, colostrum powder has been manufactured in different parts of the country. There are now efforts being made in India also. People have sent, their request to the FSSAI for granting license to manufacture, colostrum powder in India. So not far away, you will be able to get Indian-made colostrum powder in India.
I think it's better to close now. It's what
All
we
right.
have got
Thank you,
11.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
As a token of appreciation to all our panelists, I would request Dr. G.S. Rajorhia to please felicitate Shri Biswajit Datta sir.
Before we wind up, I'd just like to make an announcement.
Yes, please.
This is regarding a conference we are having on gut health and lifestyle disorders in January, on the 20th of January at the India Habitat Center. And, it's a one-day conference. The theme is millets for the microbes and your way to good health. So that's the tagline. We'd really like you all to be there. I'll share the details with Mr. Gulati and you can then register. Would love to have you there. Thank you.